Hi, I'm Lazze and I'm teaching people in metal shaping. And I'm back here with tips and tricks, and bead roller is one of my favorites. And everybody that takes my classes too, they love the bead roller because it has so many options and so many different profiles that you can make with the bead roller. So here is what I'm going to make now. And it was the last class actually that I had on the step 2 class. But they want to play with the bead roller, so I let them play with the bead roller to be more familiar with that one. And we did a little test piece like this on a flat piece. And we did the shape of this in the center. And I never thought about to cut it out. It was just to play with the bead roller. Normally we have done that similar thing before, but I did the shape of the tank first. And then we put this stuff in the center. And it was always a little tricky to get into the bead roller and to get it done. So after I did this one on a flat piece, I said to myself, you know, maybe I should cut this out and see what I can do with the edge around it. And it worked out fine. So this was the test piece. And then the student, he made this one. So we did the whole pattern here in the center first and raised this up. And then we bent the edge around it and shrunk it and rolled it and shrunk it and rolled it. And it came out like this. So this opened up a whole new way to do something like that, because you can do all kinds of different patterns here. And then you can still do the tank. And then you can, of course, make the centerpiece. And you're making left and right side at the same time if you're going to make a tank. So this is what I'm going to do now in the bead roller. So I did the layout on like that. I'm not sure, this may be going to be a little bigger, we will see. But this is what I'm going to make. So I'm going to follow those patterns here in the bead roller first. And then I'm going to roll the edge around that in the English wheel and shrink it. So see where it goes. So I'm probably going to start with those long lines here first, those 3. And then I'm going to do all of those, and then later I'm going to do the stuff on the outside. So I could, I probably could have run this from the inside. But I think on the one that we did in the class, we had this on the outside, so I had the skateboard wheel there. I set the bottom die in the center of that polyurethane wheel, and I'm going to start there. So now when I turn this down, I need to do a little test piece so I see what depth I'm going to use. So let me do a little one. So I have the tape there. I think that one is actually a little too little. So let me do a little more pressure. This is just a sample, so we can always do another one with more pressure further down. So I don't know if you can see what it looks like, but this is pretty sharp, so I like that. So the tape there is, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I can go back there and start in the same spot. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now I'm going to follow the second line there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can see what it looks like. I think it's going to come out nice. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to follow the third line. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I can take this out and we can take a look at that first so you can see what it looks like. So it's concave between there. That's what it looks like on this side. So now I'm going to do this part here. So 5 there, so I need to get started there. And the reason why I start here is that I can move the metal this way. I don't like to start here and then move the panel further and further in. I rather start here when I have free space there. And with the polyurethane wheel, I can go over and cross over without destroying. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. One, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, and 4. See, now I have clearance because I'm moving the metal out there every time. 3, 4. It's get easier and easier, and then I can turn it around and do the other side. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. One, 2, 3, 4. You're almost done on this side. 1, 2, 3, and 4. One, 2, 3, 4. So we have one more to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's what it looks like there. And now you see that we got this shape of it too. It curves much more this way, and it's all those lines that I put in there. So it looks pretty fun on the inside as well. So let me continue to do 1, 2, 3, 4 more there. And now I go in from this side here. So you see now we have a little problem there. So let me bend this a little more flat on the table. Two, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 2 more to go. One more, I think. I probably could drop the last one there. I can do it, but it's so little, so I think I can leave it like that. So the next step is to do the line around it, and that's what we're going to do next. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to raise the whole thing up there, and I'm going to make that step there. And it's the same dies that I'm using for the flame dies, but I have a little more space between them. So I'm going to raise it up a little more. So that's the dies that I put in the bead roller. So when you do something like that, you need to think about where the metal is going to go, because with my bead roll, I can work on both sides with the upper wheel. I can adjust the shaft to have it on this side or this side. But now I want this side to drop down, so this part comes up. So the top die needs to be to the right there. So I think I'm going to do just a little bit there to see where it goes. Yeah, I think we are good there. There we go. Now I raise that up. So before I go to the shrinker, I'll probably bend this down a little bit to make it a little more like that. But now I think I can do whatever I want with the edge there. So that makes it much easier to do it this way, to create this whole design here first, and then do whatever I want with the edge. So I'm over to the English wheel because before I go to the shrinker, I would like to bend this a little bit so I see where the whole tank goes. It's easier when I shrink it because I'm going to see where I have extra material. So I probably could use the rubber band here, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to twist down the side, so I'm going to use it without the rubber band. So now I have a little too low pressure, so it tried to slide out. When you do something like that, I recommend that you're a little careful so you don't go too close to the bead area, because if I do that and do a little sidetrack there, I can destroy it, and it can be very hard to fix it. Like that. So you see here now, this curves this way because it's an outer curve that was cut in an outer curve. When we bend that, it's still too long. I don't think I can do much here with a round wheel and roll it, but I will definitely do the bottom part here. Like that. Now we go over to the shrinker, and I'm going to shrink it from about there to there because that's where I have the most outer curve. So I'm over to the deep shrinker here because I would like to be able to reach in a little further in with the shrinker. So it will be hard to do that with a small shrinker. First of all, I would like to shrink this up a little, to straighten it up a little more. So I'm using little pressure, going in about 3/4 inch deep. And this doesn't need much shrinking, so I can use the depth about 3/4 of an inch. So you see now I straighten that up. I can smooth it out a little with the wheel. Now I need to go in a little deeper here, or a little more pressure. So the whole idea is to shrink this now to get this come down like that and make that mostly flat. So see here, I still have an outer curve, which tells me that I need to shrink a little more. So I can shrink there and then I go lighter in, shrink and lighter in. Here it's a little difficult to get into the jaws, so I'm bending it out a little bit. So I'm shrinking a little harder on the edge and a little lighter pressure the further in I go. That's how I can create the round shape to it. There I can still see a little outer curve, so that tells me that I should shrink a little more. And the same thing, little bit there. So I think what I would do now is to go back to the English wheel, and to be able to roll this, I need to use the offset wheel, the bigger offset wheel, to be able to reach in there to smooth this out after the shrinking. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm using this offset wheel and I'm going to roll that. And the reason why I'm using the offset wheel is that it's moving the touching point of the wheel out, so I can go closer to the bead there with the top wheel. So this part here is pretty smooth now. I have a few small dings there from those beads that I went a little too far, but the only thing to fix that, way to fix that is to do it with a hammer and a dolly, but that's okay. So when you see I hold my hands close to the pivot point in the center, because if I hold my hands there, I can't turn it around quick enough. There, I can bend this down a little bit more so it's lining up with the front. I can smooth this out a little bit with the offset wheel as well. So let's take a little lacquer thinner and clean this off, and then we can look at it, what it looks like. So this is what it looks like now. A little fine tuning here and a little there, the small dings and stuff like that, but after that you can grind it if you want, and where you put the quality is up to you. And but I can teach you how to do this, so now you know how to do it, and you can use any bead rollers for doing this. Either a soft skateboard wheel or a polyurethane wheel. Then, but it's pretty amazing that you can do something like that. So I'm looking forward to somebody that do this on a tank for a motorcycle and chrome the whole tank when it's done, and then mask this off and paint the rest, but this part here will be chromed. I think that would look awesome for a motorcycle. I've never seen that before. So send me a picture when you have done it. And if you want more information, go to www.lazzemetalshaping.com. Thank you.